So a lot of people just like you are asking me, what is the real estate market going to look like in 2023? I can tell you this, it's a lot different than what you're hearing, and I can tell you why, so stick around. On this channel, and if you were to know me personally, you would know that I cut out all the fluff and I just give you the straight answers that you need to hear in order to make informed decisions versus the answers you want to hear, which so many people give you all the time, but don't necessarily help you when they do so. In this video, I'm going to go over prices, trends, and predictions, including the housing inventory forecast, home pricing forecast, should I wait to buy a house? Should I wait to sell a house? And all the local real estate market conditions. And I'm going to get into that next. But before we do that, please click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and leave us a comment below. The housing inventory forecast for 2023. Here's a bar graph that shows us exactly where we were for the last 10 years. And in November 2021, we had a record low of 900 listings, so just under 1,000 listings. At the end of November 2022, we were sitting at 1,800 roughly, and currently we're at 1,975. So again, it's just early December, but we're sitting at 1,975. So if the trend continues, where I predict it to sort of even out and balance out is next spring. As soon as we see that listing rush that typically comes in a spring market, we're going to sort of know where things stabilize at. My true prediction as to where we're going to end up as far as active listings, I think we're going to hit right around 4,000. Throughout history, we've hit 4,000, fair amount of times, and it's not an unbalanced market at that time as long as we have buyer confidence. So again, with the buyer confidence being low, sales being at record lows, and inventory building, we can easily push this market into a buyer's market if the trend continues. Home price trends. If we look at this is again a 10-year historical look at housing prices, and right around January, February 2022, I would say maybe April 2022, we hit the peak of the market right then, and the average price for all residential properties was just under 1.1 million, and we're currently sitting at just over 900,000. So again, that's a significant change. I know what the change has been happening. I'm out there on the front lines, but the stats take a while to catch up because these are actually on closed deals, sales, properties that people have moved into, handed over the keys, and that's when the reported sale goes into our real estate board. So again, there's typically a 3-month lag of what's happening on these stats compared to what's happening out there in the real world. If the trend continues, I think we're going to see a further drop in the new year and certainly into the spring when that listing rush happens. Does this influence you? It depends on where you are in the market, what you want to do, what your goals are, and we're going to go over that particular scenario as a buyer and as a seller coming up. So a lot of people just like you are asking me, should I buy a house in 2023, Chris? And my answer is always this: the absolute best time to buy a house is always 2 years ago or maybe even further. And the next best time to buy a house is right now. Again, even with record high historical interest rates, you buy the house at a discounted dollar amount, and then as the rates change over time, you refinance. So we call it in this industry, marry the house and date the rate. So again, you're going to get some deep discounted priced homes here, and as soon as the rates start to dip down, typically what happens is the housing prices start to rebound. My sellers are asking, should we wait to sell our house? And it really all depends on what you want to do. So again, some people are downsizing, some people are upsizing, and some people are leaving this area to go work somewhere else or anything like that. My prediction for your house value is that it's at the highest point that it's going to be for the next 4 or 5 years. Again, I'm going to repeat that because that's a hard pill to swallow. Today's value of your home is at the highest it will be for the next 5 years. What I mean by that is, I think this spring we're going to see an additional 10% decrease in home values. Now, if you were to sell your house early in the new year and then buy as prices were continuing to go down, you can do this. You can actually have a long closing date on your house, but that gives you time to shop and maybe take advantage of some great deals out there. That is the absolute ideal scenario for you if you do want to sell. If you don't want to sell, typically you're going to have to hang on to your house for a period of time before it ever gets back up to that peak that we saw just 6-8 months ago. So again, I've been through these cycles before. I've been a realtor since 2005. They come and go, but typically what will happen, if history has a way of repeating itself, and it usually does, you're going to have to wait quite some time before we get back up to that peak again. Typically it's 7, maybe even 14 years. Depends on the cycle, depends on the trends, and obviously no one has a crystal ball. Nobody knows what these politicians are going to do to influence things. Nobody knows what local municipalities are going to do in order to increase supply. But again, there's changes happening all the time, but history has a way of repeating itself. And if we have seen an average house price of, in residential, including all properties, condos, townhouse, all that sort of stuff, if it got up to 1.1, it will get up there again. History has a way of repeating itself. And so we're currently going through a similar scenario as far as interest rates. In the 80s, you were at a 6% interest rate. You had about a 310% increase in your rate over years period. 1979, 1980, interest rate climbed from 6%, then it went all the way up to like 18, 19, even sometime there was a small period of time where they hit 20%. Historically, we've seen this interest rate hike happen. Now we're currently sitting at a same scenario where we've gone up about 330%, 337% to be more precise. So again, historical low interest rates just less than a year ago, and now we're already up to 6% interest rates. So again, below 2 all the way up to 6%. That's not just a 4% increase, that is literally a 337% increase. So that triples your interest basically. Interest rates are changing rapidly, mortgage payments are going up, people's renewals are coming up. We have not seen the last of the price adjustments. Again, my opinion is this shit has not hit the fan yet. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Cochran. I've been an award-winning realtor in Greater Victoria since 2005, and I've worked for top agencies like Remax, Royal LePage, Pemberton Homes, and I just recently moved over to EXP. And if you want to know why, just put in the comments, why did you move to EXP? And I'd be happy to share it with you.